Hi guys, there has been some interest in showing how to make seamless switching with scene controllers, so I thought I'll just show you how it's done. I'm starting with a blank preset. We're building a path across. So now I have sound. Not very much, but there's sound. If I add an amp block, things get more interesting. It has already selected the bridge silver. That's fine, that's the one I want to use. We also add a cap block. And we go straight to the Ownhammer Vintage 30 cap. I add a little bit of proximity effect just because I can. And I also turn on the fat switch on the bridge silver. Now I have this sound with my humbucker guitar. In this tutorial I'm going to make 3 sounds. A cleanish sound. It'll be a clean sound in scene 1. It'll be a dirty rhythm tone in scene 2. And in scene 3 we'll have a lead sound. So for the clean sound and the lead sound, I want a delay. It'll be a stereo tape delay. And it sounds like this. But I don't want that with my dry rhythm tone. So, but nevertheless, let's go back to the amp block. Let's just switch this off for now. Go back to the amp block, and in order just to see what we want to do, this is the lead tone I want to achieve. I want to go to 7, and come on, I want to switch my delay on. So now I have something like this. Sounds okay. And then the other sound was this dry rhythm tone, which is just straight up 5. And then I want to find a clean sound. And I did a little bit of homework, so I know that if I go to 2, 0.1, and, well, let's stop. It sounds like this. And I know that if I bump this up to 8, I get something like this. And if I then add a little bit of my delay, I can have some arpeggios like this. Last but not so, let's get started. Let's set this up using scene controllers instead of just fiddling with the amp block. So first I go to the controller window and I go down to the scene controllers, and I just want 3 different sounds. So I set up scene 1. I use scene controller 1 only. In scene 1 we'll set that to 0%. Scene 2 will be 50%. 50, I said. And scene 3 will be 100%. Okay, now we can start adding scene controllers. So to add a scene controller, you right click on the little controller symbol. That gives you access to the modifier window. This is the same modifier input for all the different kinds of controllers that we have. I choose scene controller 1. So for, as I said, for the input drive, for the clean tone, I want a value of 2. And for the lead tone, I want a value of 7. Now the way this works is that, remember we said 0% for the scene 1, 50% for scene 2, and 100% for scene 3. So this is 0%, this is scene 1, here we have scene 2, and here we have scene 3. So in this case, and I set the minimum, that's 2, that's here, and the maximum, that's 7, that's here. So right now I get 2 for my clean scene, and I get 7 for my lead scene. But I wanted to have something like 5 for my scene 2, and this will not give that to me. So I think it's 60% we need to get. So now we get a little bump there. So let's see what we actually get when we switch around the scenes. The numbers doesn't mean anything now, but scene 1 is still low. Scene 2 is straight up, so that's 5. And scene 3 is around 7, as we said. So this is all good. Now we add a scene controller for the input trim. Again, we choose scene 1. And yes. So minimum should be 0.1, but maximum should actually just be 1. 1. Come on. Okay, close enough. But this time I also want scene 2 to have the maximum value. So I just, at 50%, which is here, I just bump this up all the way to 100. So now I'll get the maximum value of 1 at both scene 2 and scene 3, while scene 1 has the minimum value of 0.1. Now for the master volume, I want the master volume to be 8 for the clean scene and 4 for the 2 other scenes. So this time I will set my minimum value to 8 actually. So that means that whenever we are down here, it'll achieve a setting of 8. And then I'll set my maximum value to 4. Oh, crap. And then I will take my mids down all the way to, I will actually also set them to maximum. So now at scene 1, I have 8. Scene 2, I have 4. And scene 3, I have 4. Let's check that out. So in scene 1, we have minimum input drive. We have 2 on the minimum input trim, 2 on the input drive, and 8 on the master. If we go to scene 2, we have the input trim is straight up, the input drive is straight up, and the master volume is down at 4. And again, if you go to scene 3, input trim is straight up, input drive is 7-ish, and master volume is still at 4. So these are my 3 scenes. Now I want to add delay. So the way I can control delay with scene controllers is to control the input gain. So I will set this up again, scene 1. So for my clean tone, I want a fair amount of delay. So I'll set the start value. Remember, my clean tone is down here to something like, probably 42%. But then I want my dry rhythm tone to be completely without delays, so it goes down to 0. And then my lead tones should probably be around 80. So now again, if we look at scene 3, we have fairly high amount of delay. We have no delay in scene 2, and we have some delay in scene 1. So let's listen to how all this sounds. We'll start in scene 1. Then we'll go to scene 2. And in scene 3, we have the lead tone. Now, in order to control the levels, because maybe we wanted to change the levels of the clean scene versus the dry scene and all that, we cannot attach a scene controller to the level control, but we can actually attach a scene controller to the level in the cap block. But this time I would probably use scene controller 2. That gives me complete control of what I want to get with my different with my different scenes. So a plus minus of 10 dB is easily sufficient to the level adjustments we need. So we'll do this. So plus minus 10. And then we'll just go to our controllers, scene. And then now I have, so I can, I'm in scene 3. I can turn that up. Let's say I like it there. Then I go to scene 2. This is my dry scene. Oh, that's a little low. Let's give that some level. Maybe somewhere around there. And then let's check scene 1. Wow, that's also low, so let's go and give that some level. Okay, maybe the clean tone was actually too high. So let's go back, check. And then we have the lead sound. So now I have 3 scenes where I've controlled amp gain, input trim, master volume, and the delay level, and the actual output the level of each of the scenes. And it's completely seamless if we pause the AX8 communications and just play with it. Oh, sorry, before I do that, of course, I need to go to footswitches and say scene 1, scene 2, and scene 3. So now I can actually switch with my feet. And now I'll pause AX8 edit, and then you'll hear me switch around between the different scenes. So that's it. I'll also upload the preset, of course. And thanks for watching.